Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Siobhan Edwards and today I will be teaching you how to do a paper batik. Now a paper batik is not that common amongst the artists these days because most persons shy away from this technique, but it can be very visually appealing. Alright, so we're going to be doing this today. For this exercise, we're going to need a pack of wax crayons. Recommend crayon again. Reasonable, durable, nice bright colors. You're going to need a black paint. If you don't choose to use black paint, another dark color, that's fine. You're going to need a water container to water out your paint. And you're going to need a brush for this exercise as well. And of course, you need your cartridge paper. Alright, so a batik is simply a technique as a form of resist dyeing where you apply wax so that to an area so that area resists the dye, but in this case we're going to be using paint. Now after we're finished, we're going to crumple our paper so that the wax will be removed from several areas, hence creating the cracked pattern. Alright, so let's get started.
Okay, so the first step is to draw the picture that you would like to transform into your batik. Now I've decided to do this frog for my batik. However, if this is too complicated for you or too complex of an image, you can try these images here. They're fairly simple and will allow you to explore the technique just the same. Now the focus is not the drawing today. So don't beat yourself up. It's all about the technique because I'm sure whatever image you draw will come out fabulous with this technique. Alright, so let's get started. Now the next step is to select the crayons that you're going to use. Now the colors that you decide to use are dependent on the picture that you have, so you might not use the same colors as mine. I like to single out my crayons and put them in one place so that I have everything that I need at a central location. You can try this as well. Now this section will be done in time lapse just so that it's not too long and you can actually see the process unfolding. Alright? Okay, so you see me using different shades of blue, and that's because I want a variety of colors in my background. Now it's important for you to use light colors in the background because you want to create a nice contrast between the cracks that you will have in your piece and the rest of the piece. Alright, so using a variety of colors, a variety of light colors will give you that nice highlighted contrast between the background and the cracks. Alright, so have fun, use different variations, and just enjoy yourself. Alright, so I'm gonna start the next section now. Now for this section I will be using the same principle. I'll be using a variety of hues and tones of the same color. You will even see me using some white in this section. Now, it is important for you to use white even though the paper is white. Why? Because remember we're doing a resist technique, which means that if there's no wax on the area, the ink or the dye or the paint or whatever you choose to use will seep through that area. So if you don't color the areas that you want to remain white in white, you're going to find that that area becomes black or takes the color of whatever ink or paint that you use. So you'll be seeing me using some white in this section as well. All right. The white also helps to blend the colors and to make it smoother. So you can always use it for that purpose as well. Alright, so you'll be seeing me using pink, blue, purple, all of this just to create contrast tones and add some nice, interesting values to the piece. If you're going to be doing something else, try to use a variety of colors. If you're going to color a yellow flower, don't just use yellow. Try to include some orange, some reds, just to get different tones and make your work more interesting. If you're going to be doing the fish, you can do the same thing. If you're doing a goldfish, don't color the fish just yellow. Use your reds, use your gold, use your yellow, and use your whites. Make the fish look interesting. Now I'm going to be time-lapsing this next section of the video so that you don't have to sit down and watch me color the frog from start to finish because it's a time-consuming process. Now, because I'm using different tones and values, I want it to look a particular way. That's why I'm making so much effort. But you don't have to go through all of that. Now, I will slow back down the video when I get to the part where we start applying the paint to the picture. So, just continue coloring your image until we get to that section. And if I finish before you, feel free to pause and wait until you're done. Alright, let's continue. Alright, so we're almost through. Before we get to applying our ink or our paint or our dye, whatever you chose to use, some persons even use Kool-Aid if they don't have any paint, so that's something you could try. And before we move to that part, we have to ensure that we cover all of the areas. So the part that was taped down originally, you're gonna see me cover that area with wax crayon because remember, once wax is not there, the paper won't resist the paint and it will become black. Alright, so we have to cover those areas. Now the next part is a little tricky. You have to crumple and crush the paper. And you want to do that repeatedly so you can create as much cracks as possible. But do it gently at the same time because you don't want the paper to rip too much. The paper will rip, it's normal, but you just need to have your tape on standby so that you can repair those areas. Alright, so let's get back to it. Okay, so now you can pause the video and go and prepare your paint. You want it nice and watery, but at the same time you want it to be concentrated so that you can get a nice bright color between the cracks. Alright, so when you're doing this section, ensure that you cover all sections of the drawing because you want to make sure that you don't leave any crack unaccounted for. Alright, the better you cover it, the better the cracks will show and the better a finish you will get. Now you can get a little piece of paper or paper towel just to remove the excess paint and water from it to speed up the drying process when we are through. Alright, so get yourself a little piece of paper towel at this time to remove the excess. Alright, let's continue. So here's our finished piece. Yes, this is what it looks like when it's finished, when it's dried, and everything. Now, it's important that you put something flat on it before it dries completely. That way it doesn't dry curdled up and crumpled up. Alright? Now I'm going to be showing you a close-up of this picture so that you can really see what is happening with the texture and get a better look at this batik. Alright? Let's have a look.
Okay guys, thanks for watching. We have just completed our batik. I know it was simple, right? Of course, the image was challenging, yes, but you don't have to do that complicated image. You can do a simple flower, a simple garden, something that makes you comfortable. Once you execute the technique, that's all that matters. Alright, till next time, bye.